All right, so I'm out on a ride, and in this video I want to share how cycling's made me a happier person. Because if you're here looking for printing videos, I'll leave a link on why I closed my print shop. Kind of sad. Hopefully you come back after watching that and watch this one. So let's go. Today is a recovery day. I did an FTP test yesterday. It kicked my butt. That's gonna be in next week's video. I literally collapsed. My Whoop score is in the red at 18% recovery. So we're taking it easy, and I'm literally just riding for fun. But like, riding has been a lifesaver for me, figuratively and literally. I've suffered from depression my whole adult life. I take medication. I'm very lucky I have a very supportive family, supportive friends. This video is not about depression, it's about how cycling helps me. And disclaimer, I'm not qualified in any way to give advice. This is just my experience. Last year was particularly bad. I moved to a new city, didn't have any friends here, couldn't leave the house because of lockdown. I felt like I was in a tunnel and the walls were closing in on me. And in the past, the way I would deal with things before I just like completely became comatose, I would go to the bodega, I get some Oreos, some Ben and Jerry's, and I would binge Netflix. My roommates could always tell like if I was depressed or how depressed I was by the number of Oreos I was consuming. For whatever reason, this time, when things started to get dark for me in June, I turned to my bike instead of Oreos. Luckily I had a bike. I just picked this giant Revolt up about a month before. It's not my first bike. I've had bikes pretty much my whole life, but it is the first time I really started taking riding seriously. I kind of set a goal for myself that, you know, instead of sitting down and watching Netflix when I was down, I would turn to my bike and I would start riding. Let's talk specifics. First, biking makes me happier because I get more time outside. Before, at work, you know, I'm just sitting at a desk inside. The only time I'd really go outside is like when I walked to my car, and then when I went from my car to the store. Now, because of cycling, I spend like 5 to 10 hours a week outside. That's a lot of vitamin D. I don't think we're meant to be inside so much. Yeah, you just need sun. So that's one way it's made me happier. The next way it helps, it gives me less screen time. But I have 3 screens in my life. I've got a medium screen for work, a small screen for when I'm not at work, and I've got a big screen for when I'm watching movies. If I'm not at one of those screens, I'm at another one. Like, cycling gives me time away from the screen. Ironically, I do have this screen on my bike, but I try not to look at it that much. The third reason why cycling has made me a happier person, it's helped me to lose weight. Everybody's got their own personal relationship with their body. I just know what feels good to me, and I had not been taking care of my body. During high school, during college, would mountain bike and ski and rock climb and run. I moved to New York, continued to ride my bike a little bit, but I definitely wasn't doing all of those other things. And I was eating a lot of really good food. No regrets there. I was in New York for 8 years. By the time I got to LA, I'd lost the good habits, let's say that. You can go look at the printing videos and just like look at my face, and I think it's a big difference. But it's not just like my face or how I look, it's how I feel. I feel lighter. My knees don't hurt as much, and I'm just becoming healthier in general. I was thinking about it while I was writing the script for this. I think it's like Newton's first law of motion, right? Like, an object is going to remain static until some other object acts on it. For me, that other object was cycling, and now that I've begun moving, inertia's taken over, and I've just started to be healthier in all these other areas of my life, like eating well and exercising more. And it's helped me to get moving. Speaking of which, let's get moving again. Riding my bike has also introduced me to new things, helped me find new places. The only reason why I know where anything in LA is because riding on my bike. especially since last year everything was shut down. I didn't go anywhere except on my bike. This ride that I'm on now is actually a ride I did as a recovery one day last year, and I kind of stumbled all the way up to the Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena. Riding a bike is like the best way to learn a city, like not just LA, any city. Okay, so the last one, there's actually like a lot of other ways that it's helped. The last one I'll bring up today. Riding my bike has made me stronger, physically and mentally. Next week's video is actually like all about the training program I've been doing and about whether or not I've gotten stronger and faster because of that training program. So no spoilers. If you want to watch it, if you made it this far, do me a favor, please like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. And I'm gonna use both brakes because we're going down. So last year, my big ride at the end of the summer was going up to Mount Wilson. 63 miles, 6,500 feet of climbing. It was the biggest ride I'd ever done. It took me 5.5 hours. I'm not super fast. 3.5 hours in, and I'm just dying. My cycling computer has died. Legs are cramping up. I'm almost out of water. All I want to do at that point is just throw my bike down and give up. And the only reason I didn't is because I was 3.5 hours from home. I had no choice. Like I had to finish the ride. So I did. I found some water, I rode up to the top, and then I went home. That day, like my threshold for pain and the threshold of like what I thought was possible got demolished. And I've had that experience over and over and over again. Yesterday when I was doing an FTP test, pushed through another boundary. And out of everything that cycling's done for me and how it's made me happier, building my mental strength is number one by far. Not only while I'm on the bike, but just in everyday life. And for that, I'm gonna cycle for the rest of my life. That's some warm water. Has cycling has it single-handedly made me a happier person? No. I've got a great support network. Cycling is just like one tool in this toolkit. It's like maybe a multi-tool. It does all of these things that I talked about, but it's not the whole picture. And again, to be clear, I'm not qualified to give advice on like mental health or how to deal with it. I'm just sharing my own personal experience. And just because cycling makes me a happier person doesn't mean I always remember that. It's not just cycling, like it's being outside, it's being away from a screen. I've been doing a lot of indoor training lately, and Val was like, hey, you're acting a little grumpy. I think you need to go outside on a bike ride. And she was absolutely right, because I feel great right now. I'm up by the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. I'm in this cool little park. I've been able to ride up and down hills, be outside. I needed this. I guess part of this video is just as a reminder to me to be grateful that I have this and remember like how awesome riding a bike is. But don't just take my word for it. If you're a cyclist, do me a favor. If you feel the same way I do about cycling and it's helped you in a similar way, please share your story in the comments. The more of us that talk about this stuff, the better, I think. I'll see y'all next week. Oh, fly. What a way to end the video. See ya.